Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Nick Nolte is an American actor known for his intense screen presence, rugged voice, and versatile performances across film and television. Born on February 8, 1941, in Omaha, Nebraska, Nolte rose to fame in the 1970s and 1980s, quickly becoming one of Hollywood's most respected actors. Early life and career: Nolte began his career as a model in the 1960s, notably appearing in a popular Clairol hair coloring ad. He transitioned into acting with television appearances before landing his breakout role in the 1976 miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man, where he played Tom Jordache, a rebellious working-class character. The role catapulted him to fame and set the tone for his career, portraying complex, often troubled men. Film career highlights: Nick Nolte's film career is marked by powerful performances in a wide range of genres. Some of his most notable roles include 48 Hours. 1982, Nolte starred alongside Eddie Murphy in this influential action comedy that helped redefine the buddy cop genre. Down and Out in Beverly Hills, 1986, a comedy where he played a homeless man who turns a wealthy family's life upside down. The Prince of Tides, 1991, Nolte earned an Academy Award nomination for his role as a man confronting his traumatic past, starring opposite Barbra Streisand. Affliction, 1997, this haunting performance as a small-town cop dealing with family demons earned him widespread acclaim and a second Oscar nomination. Warrior, 2011, later in his career, Nolte received a third Oscar nomination for his role as a recovering alcoholic and former boxer coaching his estranged sons. Personal life and challenges: Nolte has faced well-documented personal struggles, including legal issues and substance abuse, which at times overshadowed his career. However, he has been candid about his battles and has continued to work steadily, earning respect for his resilience and dedication to his craft. Legacy: Nick Nolte is regarded as one of the great character actors of his generation. Known for his gravelly voice, commanding presence, and ability to fully inhabit emotionally raw characters, Nolte has left an indelible mark on Hollywood. Despite a tumultuous personal life, his work continues to resonate with audiences and critics alike. Later career and resurgence: while the 1990s solidified Nolte's place in dramatic cinema, his 2000s career was marked by both quieter roles and notable comebacks. He appeared in films like The Good Thief, 2002, a stylish crime drama where he played an aging heroin addict and gambler; Hotel Rwanda, 2004, a supporting role as a UN peacekeeper, reinforcing his ability to bring gravitas to real-world stories; Tropic Thunder, 2008, in a comedic turn, Nolte played the grizzled, unstable Vietnam vet who inspired the film within the film, offering a self-aware, satirical take on his tough guy persona. In the 2010s, Nolte transitioned into television with Graves, 2016-2017, where he portrayed a former U.S. president seeking redemption. The role earned him a Golden Globe nomination, and critics praised his blend of comedy and pathos. Brain: personal life and struggles: Nolte's off-screen life has often been as dramatic as his roles. He has openly battled with alcoholism and drug addiction, culminating in the infamous 2002 mugshot after a DUI arrest, an image that became a symbol of personal decline in Hollywood tabloids. Yet, Nolte didn't disappear or give up. He sought treatment, took time away from the spotlight, and returned with deeper, more nuanced performances, especially as aging, reflective characters dealing with regret or seeking redemption. He has been married several times and has 2 children, including a daughter, Sophie, who has appeared with him in public and red carpet events. Nolte has spoken about how fatherhood changed him and gave him a greater sense of stability. Face mask acting style and reputation. Nick Nolte is a method actor, known for completely immersing himself in roles. His performances often reflect emotional turmoil, physical intensity, and quiet vulnerability, especially in later years. Directors and co-stars have described him as dedicated, intense, and unpredictable, capable of bringing surprising depth to any role. He's not the traditional Hollywood leading man. His gravelly voice, rugged face, and weathered persona are uniquely his own. These traits made him a standout in an era dominated by polished, clean-cut stars. Trophy awards and recognition. Academy Award nominations: The Prince of Tides, 1991, Best Actor Affliction, 1997, Best Actor Warrior, 2011, Best Supporting Actor Golden Globe winner. The Prince of Tides, 1991, Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Despite never winning an Oscar, Nolte is widely regarded as one of the most underrated powerhouse actors of the last 50 years. Books. Fun facts: Nolte originally studied engineering before dropping out to pursue acting. In the 1970s, he trained at the Stella Adler Studio of Acting in Los Angeles. He was once considered for the role of Han Solo in Star Wars, which eventually went to Harrison Ford. He often plays characters who are broken, battling inner demons, mirroring his own life struggles. And legacy. Nick Nolte represents the archetype of the Hollywood outsider, a man who never quite fit the mold but carved his own path through raw talent, perseverance, and authenticity. His legacy lies in his flawed, human characters who resonate long after the credits roll. Early influences and education. Nick Nolte's path to stardom was anything but traditional. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and grew up in the Midwest, moving frequently due to his father's work. His father, Frank Nolte, was a World War II veteran who had been highly decorated for bravery. This shaped much of Nick's early understanding of masculinity, struggle, and resilience. In high school, Nolte was an athlete, particularly passionate about football. He attended several colleges, including Arizona State University, Eastern Arizona College, and Pasadena City College, but he was expelled multiple times due to poor grades or disciplinary issues. He eventually found his calling in acting, which offered an outlet for his restless, rebellious nature. His formal training at the Pasadena Playhouse and the Stella Adler Studio of Acting grounded his work in deep character analysis and emotional authenticity, tools he would return to for the rest of his career. Clapperboard behind the scenes, anecdotes and iconic roles. Here are a few notable stories and facts that give a glimpse into Nolte's work ethic and persona. 48 Hours. 1982, the dynamic between Nolte and Eddie Murphy, in his film debut, was electric. Nolte reportedly encouraged Murphy and helped shape the film's rough-edged chemistry. He played the racist, hard-boiled cop opposite Murphy's wise-cracking criminal, a reversal of expectations at the time. Their pairing was revolutionary in Hollywood for its interracial buddy dynamic. The Thin Red Line, 1998, in Terrence Malick's poetic war film, Nolte played the ambitious and frustrated Lieutenant Colonel Tall. Nolte lobbied hard for the role and brought decades of bottled rage to it, channeling his complex relationship with authority and masculinity. Affliction, 1997. This might be Nolte's most emotionally devastating performance. Directed by Paul Schrader, the film tells the story of a small-town sheriff descending into paranoia and rage. Nolte drew on his own pain and experiences with an alcoholic father, delivering what many critics call his most vulnerable and haunting role. Warrior, 2011, playing the alcoholic father of two estranged MMA fighters. Nolte brought both physical fragility and emotional intensity. He reportedly stayed in character throughout filming, even living apart from the rest of the cast. His performance earned him a third Oscar nomination. Movie camera. Nolte in Hollywood, the outsider within. Despite his fame, Nolte has always seemed like a reluctant celebrity. He rarely played the publicity game, often shunning interviews or giving gruff, unpredictable responses when he did. In an industry of polished personas, Nolte stood apart, unvarnished. Often disheveled, but fiercely committed to his art. In a 2016 New York Times interview, he said, "Hollywood's about illusion. I've always been more interested in the truth, even if it's ugly." Nolte has long rejected the Hollywood system, often choosing independent films or roles with emotional depth over commercial blockbusters. He was once offered roles in Apocalypse Now, Platoon, and even Star Wars, but often turned them down in favor of more grounded projects. Open book memoir, Rebel. In 2018, Nolte released his memoir, Rebel: My Life Outside the Lines, a candid, often humorous, and brutally honest reflection on his life. He discussed his struggles with addiction, his arrests, his marriages, and the many highs and lows of his career. He also explored his disdain for superficiality in Hollywood and his lifelong pursuit of authenticity, both in acting and life. Older person. Recent years, a quiet legacy. In recent years, Nick Nolte has stepped back from mainstream roles but hasn't disappeared. He voiced Kuiil in The Mandalorian, 2019, a Star Wars spin-off, giving emotional depth to the quiet, stoic alien character. He occasionally appears at film festivals, red carpet events, or special retrospectives of his work, often with his daughter Sophie by his side. Despite health issues, Nolte remains philosophical and sharp, continuing to read scripts and speak fondly of the few directors and collaborators he still admires. Glowing star. Final thoughts. Nick Nolte is an actor's actor. He never chased stardom but earned it through raw, fearless performances. His career is a tapestry of vulnerability, fury, wisdom, and wildness, reflecting both his characters and his own path through life. As of today, Nolte lives a quieter life in Malibu, far from the Hollywood spotlight he once reluctantly occupied. Yet his performances continue to captivate new generations of fans and actors alike. "There's beauty in being a mess," Nolte once said. "It means you're still trying." Top 10 Nick Nolte performances, in depth. Here's a curated list of some of his best and most iconic roles, showcasing his range. 1. Affliction, 1997, a masterclass in emotional implosion. Nolte plays a tormented sheriff unraveling under trauma and pain. A deeply personal performance, drawing from his own demons. Awards, Academy Award nomination. National Society of Film Critics Award 2. The Prince of Tides, 1991, a layered portrayal of a Southern man hiding a lifetime of trauma. His chemistry with Barbra Streisand is electric, and his vulnerability is heartbreaking. Awards, Academy Award nomination, Golden Globe win 3. 48 Hours, 1982, a genre-defining buddy cop film. Nolte's gruff, hard-nosed cop contrasts brilliantly with Eddie Murphy's fast-talking convict. Their dynamic reshaped action comedy forever. 4. Warrior, 2011, a haunting portrayal of a recovering alcoholic and estranged father. Nolte infuses his role with sorrow, regret, and a quiet strength. Awards, Academy Award nomination 5. The Thin Red Line, 1998, as Lieutenant Colonel Tall, Nolte delivers a commanding, tragic performance in Malick's philosophical war epic. He embodies ambition, futility, and desperation in battle. 6. Down and Out in Beverly Hills, 1986, one of his rare comedic triumphs. Nolte plays a philosophical homeless man who disrupts a dysfunctional wealthy family. Subversive and oddly sweet. 7. Cape Fear, 1991. Playing opposite Robert De Niro, Nolte brings moral ambiguity to his role as a lawyer whose past catches up with him in terrifying fashion. A thriller with psychological weight. 8. Lorenzo's Oil, 1992. A sensitive, compassionate role as a father determined to find a cure for his son's rare disease. One of Nolte's most restrained and heartfelt performances. 9. The Good Thief, 2002, a stylish neo-noir. Nolte plays an aging, heroin-addicted thief trying to pull one last heist. A performance of great charm and world weariness. 10. Hotel Rwanda, 2004, in a smaller supporting role, Nolte plays a morally conflicted UN colonel. Though brief, he brings gravity and despair to his portrayal of institutional failure. Red heart relationships and personal connections. Romantic relationships. Nolte has been married several times and has had high-profile romances. Some key relationships include Clitty Lane, his current partner and the mother of his daughter Sophie. They married in 2016 after more than a decade together. Catherine Nolte, née Grady, mother of his son, Brawley Nolte, who acted in Ransom, 1996, and other films. Nolte has also been romantically linked to Deborah Winger and Vicki Lewis during his Hollywood heyday. Children. Brawley Nolte, his son, born in 1986, had a brief acting career. Sophie Nolte, his daughter, born in 2007, has accompanied him to events and appeared in Honey in the Head, 2014, with him. Friendships and collaborations. Nolte has worked with some of the greatest directors: Terrence Malick, Martin Scorsese, Paul Schrader, and Barbra Streisand. He's also respected by many actors, including Sean Penn, Tom Hardy, and Benicio del Toro, for his integrity and commitment to roles. Footprint. Influence on Hollywood and younger actors. Nick Nolte may not be the first name younger actors reference today, but his legacy is deep among serious performers. Actors like Tom Hardy, Josh Brolin, and Ben Foster have cited him as an influence for his intensity, willingness to take emotional risks, and ability to transform physically and psychologically. He also helped redefine what a leading man could be in Hollywood, not just handsome and polished, but flawed, grizzled, and deeply human. Speaking head voice work and recent appearances. The Mandalorian, 2019, Nolte voiced Kuiil, the wise, humble Ugnaught who guides the Mandalorian. His famous line, "I have spoken," became an instant pop culture quote. His voice gave the character warmth and gravitas. Nolte has also narrated documentaries and performed voice work in animated projects, though rarely, as he prefers live action and physical performance. Person in lotus position. Philosophy and public image. Despite being known for gruffness and volatility, Nolte is also described as gentle, philosophical, and highly literate in private. He reads extensively, particularly history, psychology, and philosophy. He has said in interviews that pain and failure are more interesting than success. There's no truth in perfection. I've never trusted it. Over time, his public image shifted from bad boy and mugshot meme in the early 2000s to respected elder statesman of acting. He's now recognized as one of the few stars who survived and transcended the excesses of fame. Home life today. Nick Nolte, now in his 80s, lives quietly in Malibu, California, in a tree-covered home that's part rustic cabin, part artist retreat. He gardens, spends time with his family, and occasionally returns to the screen for roles that speak to him. Though semi-retired, he has not officially quit acting. When the right project comes along, he's still open, and always ready to go deep. Acting craft. The method, the madness. The mastery. Nick Nolte isn't just an actor, he's a true character chameleon. While not as formally method as someone like Daniel Day-Lewis, Nolte embodies similar traits. Emotional immersion. Nolte has often said he lives in the skin of his characters. Physical transformations. He's lost weight, aged up, and grown out his beard or hair to become the role, not the other way around. Improvisational intensity. Directors have noted that Nolte often rewrites or rethinks dialogue in ways that deepen scenes emotionally or morally. Prep work. For The Prince of Tides, he studied Southern dialects and the psychology of trauma survivors. For Warrior, he worked with addiction counselors to ground his portrayal. He's often drawn to characters on the edge, ex-soldiers, drunks, broken fathers, burnt-out cops. He once said, "I'm drawn to people who are really screwed up, because I'm still trying to figure out what makes us tick." Camera with Flash. The Mugshot and the Myth. In 2002, Nolte was arrested for DUI under the influence of GHB, a then legal but controversial drug. The resulting wild-haired, Hawaiian-shirted mugshot became one of the most iconic celebrity arrest photos in pop culture. Rather than hide from it, Nolte owned it. He later said, "That mugshot, it was the truth. That's what I looked like. I wasn't going to pretend otherwise." It marked a rock-bottom moment, but also a turning point. He entered rehab, sobered up, and began a new phase of his career, older, wiser, more focused. Over time, what was once tabloid fodder became a symbol of resilience. Nolte never pretended to be perfect. He embraced the fall and climbed back. Fire controversies and comebacks. Nick Nolte's volatility isn't just myth. There have been on-set tensions, walk-offs, and moments of brilliance born from chaos. A few examples. During North Dallas 40, 1979, Nolte clashed with producers over the film's NFL satire, but his performance earned critical acclaim. On Cape Fear, he and Scorsese reportedly disagreed over Nolte's character's moral ambiguity. Nolte held his ground, and the character stayed morally gray. He also turned down roles that could have made him even bigger. Han Solo in Star Wars, he didn't want to commit to a franchise. Superman in the 1978 Richard Donner film Indiana Jones before it went to Harrison Ford. These decisions reinforce his image as an artist. First, celebrity. Second, sports medal. Nolte's place in Hollywood history. Nick Nolte is part of a rare group, actors who became iconic without ever fully playing the Hollywood game. Think Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, Klaus Kinski. Minus the chaos, Harvey Keitel. He belongs to that lineage of emotionally raw, truth-driven performers who never chased image, they chased essence. Though he's never won an Oscar, his 3 nominations across 3 decades, 1991, 1997, 2011, are a testament to his sustained excellence. Film frames. Hidden gems and underrated roles. Here are a few lesser-known Nolte performances that show his range. Under Fire, 1983, as a war photographer in Nicaragua. Nolte brings journalistic grit and heart to this political thriller. Who'll Stop the Rain, 1978, a Vietnam veteran caught in a heroin smuggling scheme. Raw and underrated. Clean, 2004, a quiet, poetic film by Olivier Assayas where Nolte plays a grandfather trying to help a woman reunite with her son. Mother Night, 1996, Nolte plays an American Nazi propagandist struggling with identity. Bold and unsettling. Peaceful Warrior, 2006, a spiritual mentor role that shows his more Zen, Yoda-like side. Brain psychological portrait. The man behind the roles Nick Nolte is an enigma, self-destructive, self-aware, fiercely private, and radically open all at once. His acting draws deeply from his own life wounds. A complicated childhood under a strict, military father, a lifelong fight with addiction and self-doubt, a sense of alienation from traditional Hollywood values. He has spoken about loneliness, about the need to be seen but not admired, and about the pain of memory. His characters, especially in Affliction, Prince of Tides, and Warrior, often deal with father-son tension, repressed trauma, alcoholism, redemption through pain. His work is not only performance, it's confession. End closing thought. Nick Nolte may not be a household name for younger generations, but he is, without a doubt, one of the finest American actors of the last 50 years. He once said, "Acting is a lonely road, but it's the only road that feels honest to me." And that's Nick Nolte in a sentence. Battered, brilliant, alone, but deeply, almost frighteningly, real. One. Nolte's themes. The roles he can't escape. If you trace Nick Nolte's filmography, a pattern emerges. He keeps returning to characters who are fathers who failed and are trying to make it right, ex-soldiers haunted by wars no one sees, men of principle broken by compromise, outsiders yelling from the edge of society. These themes come from somewhere real, his own life. Nolte never pretended to be whole. He's interested in the incomplete, the ashamed, and the almost redeemed. He's not performing these men, he knows them. "I've never trusted a character who had it all figured out," Nolte said. "That's not human. That's PR." Hourglass 2. The Lost Years, early 2000s, after the mugshot and addiction battle, Nolte entered a quieter period. Between 2002 and 2009, he only appeared sporadically, mostly in indie films or ensemble parts. Hollywood didn't quite know what to do with him anymore. He called this period penance in an interview. He refused to take roles just for money. He turned down comebacks he felt were phony. He focused on being a father to Sophie. But it's during this time that he developed a sort of cult status. People started to rediscover his 80s and 90s work, and younger fans began to realize, oh, this guy didn't just go off the rails, he was always driving close to them. Books 3. Books and intellectual pursuits. You might not expect it, but Nick Nolte is deeply bookish. His Malibu home is filled with history texts, especially World War II and Vietnam, Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell, plays by Chekhov, Ibsen, and Eugene O'Neill, books on addiction, mythology, and human behavior. He sees acting as psychology plus poetry. It's not technique, it's digging until it hurts. In his memoir Rebel, My Life Outside the Lines, he writes, "Acting isn't pretending. It's removing the armor, even when there's no one asking you to." World Map 4.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching.